Hello and welcome to this special talk in special English from TSM, the Stage Media. I am your friend for the Stage Media Simple English Talk, Say What to Sing. We at the Stage Media, we make it our business that any news that you get, whether from the newspaper, from the radio, or from Facebook, that news, it must be true. Sooner that news is not true, we will check and tell you that it is not true. Or sometimes it's true, some of it true, or some of it not true. So we'll tell you that story is correct or is not correct. And that's what we are going to do here. So the first story that we get here, that we finish checking, that we bring it to you, is concerning the AFL, the Army of Liberia. The other day, the government house that can talk for the government of Liberia, they call Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. The short name for it is MICAT. So this is the one that you will hear, MICAT. They put a story outside and say, in the budget for 2022, the president of Liberia gave more money, he increased the budget for the AFL to $4 million US. The Stage Media decided to check. And when they went to check, they find out that the government of Liberia gave $4 million to the whole government soldier house, what they call the Ministry of National Defense. And out of that money, only $2,881,211 that was the budget for the AFL. The soldier house they call the Ministry of National Defense, it not get only the AFL that it's dealing with. And the AFL is a department inside the Ministry of National Defense. So when they make it, put this paper here outside on their Facebook page to say that the AFL got that money, got $4 million increase in their budget, it is not correct at all. Even though the government put some more money on the budget for the Ministry of Defense, it is not the AFL that got a whole $4 million. Here is one more story that we went to check on. The other day, story just came on the internet, and they say this bank here, what they call Echo Bank, it was giving plenty of money, like $800,000 to people when you're ready to you go there to credit, but you get loan. This story came up, and everybody started running for it because now they want to find a way to pull in for this kind of money. Came on the internet, on the particular internet they call WhatsApp. And because that was money business now, the story started running wildfire. TSM went to the bank itself, what they call the Echo Bank, to find out, oh, bank, this particular thing that we hear here, is it true that you're doing it, running this particular kind of money project here? The bank said, before we can answer your way, they went and write a whole statement and put it outside to say that all of that, what people talking about, that so lie. Echo Bank is not running that kind of thing. They have to say they're giving money, what they call subsidy. The subsidy is a money that people can give. For example, a government, when a government doing subsidy, sometimes they will take that money and give it to business people who bring in some goods, like rice, for example. So that when they bring that particular goods, then because government gave that money, the price for that particular goods will not go up. So this is what they call a subsidy. Or in short, it's a help, money help that they will give you to try to hold down certain things. And Echo Bank said no, they don't know nothing about that thing there today or tomorrow. So it is not true at all. One more story that TSL want to talk to you about is concerning one Liberian man who can play phone. They call this person here comedian. Play phone for people to laugh on radio, on TV, or when people come together. And this fellow, they call him George Botini. One day, a family member came up and said George Botini died. So from that time on in March, the man died story started going all around. TSM decided to check, and TSM find out that on the day that the people say George Botini died, it was not true. He was sick and was still taking treatment. TSM later find out that George Botini actually died, but what we want to tell you is that they put that man death news outside long time before he died. We said never mind to his family, but it was a long time after the people put the story outside. His family member, some of his family members put the story outside that he died before George Botini actually died. He used to work for the United Nations crew that were in Liberia here. They call UNMIL, and used to really make people laugh to be playing fun. One more story that TSM want to talk to you about is the one that came up the other day concerning the minister in charge of hospital matters in the country here. They call Minister of Health, Wilhelmina Jala. The story came on one internet group, and this internet group here, they call it Boyfriend FC Blog. They're the one read the kind of story here. And what the story say is that the minister said the government are going to go all around to do free tests for what they call DNA. Now, the DNA is a kind of test that the scientists finish making that can solve any confusion. And this confusion concerning children. When you born a child, this particular machine, when they go and test, it will tell you that you get a child or that now you get a child. The person here is related to you or is not related to you. All these things started going around because there's plenty of confusion or hala now around with people wanting to take some children to America or to other countries, and then when they go do the test, they show that that person who carrying the child is not the child. Even though you marry the child mother or you marry the child father and you're born the child, but it means that the person born the person here by a different person or that different person gave the person here belly. So even if you were the man, you keep the woman came, or you and the woman even still together. And that woman decide to cheat, and then somebody else love to the woman, and then they get the child here. Or you taking the child for you. But when the time comes, so not for you to travel or for you to even say get some benefit, and then they send the people say no, we want to make sure whether that you born the child or that now you born the child. They go do this particular test here, and then it show that it is not your child or this person is not your relative. So the story came up. TSM people went straight to the minister. The minister even said this story here, it was not true at all. That it even said surprised me for somebody to come and write something about me like this. So the minister write a whole paper and put it outside to say that story that came on our Boyfriend FC blog, that's a so lie. I didn't say that government will go around the country or anywhere else to do this particular test here free. The test is here. If you want to do it, you will come there, but it's not going to be free. So the story about the minister saying that they will do this particular thing here is completely so lie. Here in Liberia, by the end of the year in October, there will be voting. But for the voting here to really happen on one day in October, people got to start to get prepared. And the prepare that they will do, that's a whole process. Plenty things are in it. So TSM decided to check all story, voting story that happened in Liberia here, where plenty of cheating went on and all that kind of thing. So the first place the TSM decided to check was the voting that happened here in 1927. So in that voting, there were two people who went inside. The president at that time, Charles D.B. King, and the opposition leader, Thomas J. Faulkner. At the time, the record showed that about 15,000 people who were qualified to vote in Liberia here. So the voting happened. But before the vote will finish, the voting house that time made an announcement and say the president Charles D.B. King got 240,000 persons that voted for him. And then the opposition leader, T.J.R. Faulkner, got only 9,000 votes. So the people say, how come? When they went to check, that was also cheating. Even the international group, what they call the Guinness Book of Records, read that kind of story down. They said that Liberia carried the record for cheating in election. That was in 1927. TSM also decided to check the voting that happened in 1985. Many years later, in that 1985 election, the person who was in charge of the voting matters was lawyer Emmett Hammond. He made the announcement and said that Samuel Doe got 50.9%. But when people really went to check, President Doe did not get that vote. Rather, it was the opposition leader, Jackson F. Doe, who got more votes than the president. But the people cheated. And there was another way of cheating in voting in Liberia here. The voting went on in Liberia. Nothing happened in 1985. But when the people decided to count, that's where the problem came from. They threw everybody outside and so then checked the ballot papers and came up with that result to say Samuel Doe won the voting. And of course, from that voting time in 1985, everything built up until we had the problem that we have here in Liberia from voting business, stealing vote. TSM decided to also check all these things and find out that cheating in voting, and not only that people at the end of the voting, people will cheat, but there are other things that are going on. Like you put people in a truck and carry them to vote for you, take them from somewhere, from different place and carry them to another place, what they call voters trucking. More kind of cheating that TSM find out that can bring problem in the voting matters, that for people to buy vote. Sometimes you don't put people in a truck to carry them, but people with money will go there, buy the voters card from people who's supposed to vote, especially the place where they know that their friend, their person who opposing them, the other opposition person got strong. Where the other opposition strong, they go carry money there, buy the voters card from the people, then the people will not vote. That way, the person who was supposed to win will not win, and then the wrong person will win. These are all things that stage media check and say people should be careful with when it comes to this voting here. Here is a story that TSM decided to check, which is true. The story came that one Liberian young lady left from here and went to school in India. And while she was there in India, another Liberian student who already in India, they call Carlos Dan, raped this particular girl. We are not calling the name of the girl in this report because it is something that will make people shame. And when Carlos Dan did something like this here, the girl decided to leave India. The news said the girl decided to leave India to come back because her friend there in the Liberian community that there, they were pointing fingers at her that somebody raped her. So she couldn't stand all that shame. It is true that that particular girl could not stand the shame, and so she came back home and did the study that she went for. The final story that we get here, that we check and find out that it is true, but there was somebody came and put plenty of confusion inside, is concerning one Liberian lawyer they call Councillor Arthur Johnson. Arthur Johnson put on his Facebook page to say that one group in America, association in America, they call this group here American Association for Justice, AAJ, have a competition they call the Trial Advocacy Competition. There are people, they ask him to come so that to be a judge in the competition that students will be doing. Then a Liberian young man came up and said the thing that Arthur Johnson wrote to say there was a competition and that he win the competition and that's why the people choose him. Mr. Martin Colley wrote plenty things. He read plenty things about this one here. So TSM decided to check. TSM find out that lawyer Arthur Johnson, the thing he read, he didn't say that he went through competition. No. So Martin Colley lied that Arthur Johnson went through competition. Arthur Johnson did not say so. Arthur Johnson said the people, they asked him to come so he would take part in that particular thing what they were doing. And that's exactly what TSM find out. Arthur Johnson did not say he went through competition. No, he said the people choose him. Why and how they choose him, he didn't even say that. So that's all the time we have on this particular program here today, the fact-checking. My name is Seo Watusin, TSM Special English friend, bringing you all of the story, TSM check whether it is true or it's not true. Bye-bye and God bless you.